understand, but I fell down this hill. Now I got glue on my hands and I got records on my fingers. Records on my fingers, I got records on my fingers, and I just can't stop.
What's up, bitches? Welcome to episode 2 of the 2DK podcast. 2Dcast? I don't know. We didn't think of a name. What's up? I'm joined by my good friend, TheCrispyPanda.
Sure, yeah. The Crappy Panda. TCP.
TCP. Today, we're going to be recapping. Not only are we going to recap the first 2 episodes, we're also going to be adjusting our tier list based on these 2 episodes. So, I don't remember the episode names. I think the first one was like, I didn't get picked for dodgeball, and the second one was like, that was an unnecessarily annoying tribal council. Was that the names of the episodes?
I did not look into them. I can check now. I for like 30 seconds.
Anyway, yeah, I'll stall for 30 seconds.
Episode 1.
Never mind.
Maybe one day I'll be cool enough for dodgeball, and this is such a needlessly annoying tribal.
Yeah, so I was close. So that was a lot of fun. I had, a lot of fun with those 2 episodes. I think I genuinely had more fun in those 2 episodes than I did the entirety of season 23.
Wow.
No, it's not that bad. But, yeah, no, off to a good start. The season is already super promising. It's super active. I was scared that the season would be incredibly inactive, but it's actually the opposite. It's actually super active.
Yeah.
Or at least one of the tribes. The other, has its issues. But today we're going to be discussing the first 2 episodes. So the first episode, we started out with the picking of the tribes. As you may know, Abby and Orca both got to pick tribes. It's pretty cool. We sort of touched upon it last time, but what did you think of the tribes, TCP?
Well, we kind of went over it last time where we thought that the Orca tribe would be a lot stronger than the Abby tribe. And I think that maybe Abby did not, I don't know if she could have expected what was going down with her picking tribes, but Abby is not in a good position on her tribe that she chose.
Yeah, Abby, she put herself in a position where a lot of people are a lot more social, and they might want to pick her out of the crowd.
Yeah. I kind of think that, so this is kind of like approaches that both Abby and Orca took, is I'm pretty sure they didn't tell anyone about them picking tribes.
Yeah.
Or like ranking people to pick for tribes. And I feel like for Abby's case, if she had like leaned into that a little bit, being like, oh yeah, I really wanted you on my tribe. I'm actually the person who got the pick for our tribe. It's like that could have gotten her like some social capital that she could be using now. But
exactly, she hasn't used. Maybe it just hasn't crossed her mind. But
she did avoid being one of the first few targets though because of this first challenge this episode.
I will say though, one thing. So Orca and Abby, this was supposed to be a big secret, and let's just say it got leaked to Dennis by someone out of the game. Someone out of the game leaked that Orca and Abby were the captains, I guess. Take one guess at who it was. Yeah, take one guess who it was. I'm not happy with this person right now. I'm really not happy, but whatever.
I have no clue.
It was Hab.
Hab? Oh, damn.
But anyway, the tribes. Andrew commented that these tribes are pretty unbalanced, and I disagree because there won't be any flash games for the entire pre-merge, so I think it's fine. And also, both tribes have lost. It wasn't. I thought it would be complete domination, but no. The smart fellas actually lost once for code names.
Yeah. I think the dominance might be coming a bit later. If we'll see if Swap or like Merge sees one of these tribes dominating the other.
Yeah.
But for now, I don't really have that impression. So this first challenge, how it went down is that
it's your favorite
everyone
challenge.
was put into groups of 2, and they had to do a crossword where they. At the end of each word, there was an extra
not a
letter.
crossword, a word search.
And those letters unscrambled into a code word, a word search. That and the extra letters unscrambled a code word that would let them finish their challenge in their time.
Yeah.
And the Abby tribe, I believe they're the fart smellers. They sucked at this.
Yeah, the fart Smellas completely sucked. Ryan and Tiny, I think their score was almost as bad as the entire other tribe combined. They had 27 minutes compared to the other tribe, which I think the other tribe only had like 24 minutes combined, which is crazy.
Yeah. And they could have been in major trouble for this first tribal. Like, I think Ryan was expecting to be in trouble. But they were saved by one man, one savior, Jack,
Yeah.
who did not show up to help the guy out.
No, I wanna point out a little Easter egg, little clue that I hid in the challenge. So in the crossword, there were four. No, not crossword. Sorry, in the word search, there were 4 word searches. One of them was stolen from Undertale. One of them was about the characters of Wayside, and one of them was the first 10 winners of 2DK. But did you notice that one of them was just the numbers 11 through 20, or 11 through 20? Did you notice that?
No, I didn't. What's the significance of that?
So the significance is that the board, the Wayside floor search system, so I think it was 14 and 19 I put X, and that's supposed to symbolize that these floors will kill you. I guess.
Oh.
So you can go on any floor from 11 to 20, and you'll be fine, except for 14 and 19. So that was a little Easter egg that I hid there. I hope someone finds it out after the season and it's like, oh my god, JPEG's a genius. Yeah.
Maybe only people who listen to this will figure out your genius.
That's a little Easter egg I put. I was really happy that I came up with it.
I will say, because of this episode, we can kind of judge the whole Abby tribe off of this first episode. Because, spoiler, in the second episode, the smart fellas, they lose. So a lot of their content comes from episode 2, and a lot of the content we got to talk about for today, or for the first episode, is with episode 1. Yeah. So Jack was the first one eliminated on this tribe. The scramble didn't really have too much going on. Everyone just consensusly was like, hey, Jack. Yeah, Jack. And then everyone voted for Jack.
Yeah, Ryan and Tiny.
Even Jack voted for Jack.
Ryan and Tiny were both a little, feeling a little down, but yeah, neither of them were even brought up, I don't think. I don't think either of them had their names brought up. Which is crazy. You'd think it would be brought up at least once, but no, not at all. And that's the thing with Jack. He just kind of didn't show up. I actually had to message some of his friends to message him, hey, can you just say hi? So that people know you exist.
Yeah.
I'm definitely really sad.
He let us know after he was voted out that this was going to be like his most busy time.
Yeah, that's some Mr. Unicorn luck right there. If you don't know Mr. Unicorn, season 20 started when he got his job, and season 20 ended, FTC happened when he was on vacation, which is like amazingly bad luck. Amazing bad luck, but yeah. Jack is similar bad luck. I was really excited for him.
We don't have too much to say about Jack's game as the first person eliminated, but we do get to talk about everyone else on his tribe.
Yeah, and just to touch a little bit on Jack, I really wish he was a bit more of a contender. I was really excited for him, but yeah, it happens. 2DK just has predictable first boots, I guess. It just kind of has to be predictable.
So with this tribe, the dynamics have gone down actually remarkably similar to how we were predicting in the first episode of the podcast.
Exactly.
So the majority on this group was, first of all, it was like Ryan, Guy, Ecto, and Emma. Ecto was like wanting to bring in Tiny a little bit, but I don't think that has actively happened.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, what's happened is, so Saps ended up replacing Jack when Jack was voted out, and Saps has integrated herself really well into this majority group.
Exactly. So, I think she'll be completely safe despite being late to the party,
Yeah, I think that of everyone on this tribe, so in the next 2 episodes, there will be one more pre-merge challenge and one more in a swap. And I think that of everyone on this tribe, I feel like Saps is in a position where really I can't see a single tribe that would vote her out.
I agree, and that's amazing because in episode 1 we discussed, Saps is probably going to be the expendable one of her and Neff. They're probably going to want to cut her loose, but I don't think that's the case here. I think Ecto and Ryan and the gang, they prefer to keep those two around as a big shield, like two big shields, right?
Yeah. On the opposite end of the Abby and Dennis duo, I feel like Abby is like of everyone who talks about Abby in the majority, Abby is like the one at the bottom of everyone's list that talks about her,
Yeah.
and that is like really bad. She could potentially be a unanimous boot if her tribe goes to tribal next, and she's in major danger.
I can see it happening very clearly. I can see Abby getting voted out like 6-1. There's 7-1 if they lose again. I'm really nervous for her, but it's a shame. But yeah, she picked a really social tribe when she's not super social herself.
And then the two other people I think that are on her tribe, Cass and Tiny. What do you think about Cass and Tiny so far?
Well, Cass, we put Cass down as pre-swap boot, but now that the season's really going, I think she's fine. I think that she honestly, I think she makes merge at this point. I see Cass as a really clever player who plays super UTR, but also super likable.
I feel like Cass, I don't think she's the next target on her tribe. And if there's a swap happening, I feel like I don't know how Cass would do. Because if she's like in the minority and she's like not the one who's talking the most, and she could go, but like the only people that would talk more than her to like new people maybe are like Ryan, Ecto, Guy, or Saps. So in that sense, I think that Cass is like swap screwable.
Yeah. Oh, are we ranking them now? Are you ranking them now?
Yeah, I'm ranking them now.
All right. So we'll start out with Cass. We'll put Cass in swap screwable, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I agree actually.
There is some more social people on her tribe that might be able to like out talk her if like in comparison if they're like in the minority, but in most cases I think Cash could be going into these next two episodes very, very fine.
Yeah, I think
unless
so
like
too.
she majorly screws up a challenge, which is I guess possible, but
I feel like Cass fits the archetype of someone who they go out late pre-merge, I guess. They're nice to keep around, but eventually they're like, look, we don't want this person anymore. Cut her loose.
So that makes her like pretty strong for these next two episodes, even though that she's not in the best position on her tribe. She's probably in the bottom 3 on her tribe.
Yeah.
But she's not going to be on that tribe for very long, so it's not actually that bad.
I guess here's how we do it, TCP. I think we, since episode 1 was more of a Fart Smellas episode, we rank the Fart Smellas, and then we recap episode 2, and then we rank the Smart Fellas.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Let's do that. So, and let's not go in alphabetical order, because if we do it every time, it'll be boring, right? If we go always in alphabetical order.
Yeah.
So Tiny, you asked me about Tiny. I actually think Tiny's in a really good spot. He's not. I don't think he's in the not guy who is it? Ecto, Ryan, Saps trio that I kind of see forming, but he's definitely someone who's like, oh no, let's keep him around. He's a good free agent, good to have around. I think Tiny's like really safe, actually.
Do you think that Tiny would be able to one of the people who would just reach out more during a swap because he doesn't have really the connections right now?
I think so. I think Tiny is on the bottom of that, not on the bottom, sort of like 4th or 5th in that group. But I don't think he's going anywhere. I don't think anyone wants to flip on him this early. I'd put him in safe. And I just want to point out that Tiny is
in safe.
Yeah, I'd put him in safe.
You don't think he's swap screwable?
No, I don't think so.
I think that his challenge performance. I personally think that his challenge performance is still going to be something that's like, it's not remembered right now, but if it happens again, Tiny is the kind of person who would be in like light danger because of challenge performance, because like Ryan and Tiny did real
They're
bad.
awful. Yeah. I agree. I'm thinking this through. No, the way I see it, in a tribe versus tribe situation, if it's Smart Fellas versus Fart Smellas on a swap tribe, I can't see Tiny being, the one that they pick out. I feel like they would pick out someone like Ecto or Guy or Ryan, not Tiny.
I could see Ecto being Ecto and Ryan being targeted. I think that they both Ecto and Ryan are probably swap screwable players,
Yeah.
even though that I think they're rather sociable.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I think that Guy would be safe.
Yeah, I
I
feel
think
like.
Guy would be safer than Ryan or Ecto, because I feel like Ryan or Ecto are like more talkable about.
Wait, are we moving to
Um,
Guy and Ecto, or are we sticking with? Wait, I thought we were doing one at a time.
oh, I was just kind of like my thought process went to Guy
Yeah.
and Ecto.
Yeah. But for now, we'll stick with Tiny. Yeah, where do you see Tiny? Safe, swap, screwable?
I think she's in light danger.
Tiny's a guy.
Or he. I think I made that mistake the first
Okay,
episode.
we'll put her in light danger. But we'll put him. Sorry, I call him her. We'll put him in light danger. Light danger. Yeah. No, I can see it now. Yeah, I can kind of see it. He would be in light danger.
Next, we got Ecto. And do we want to talk about Ecto next? I feel like Ecto is.
Yeah, we'll go Ecto next. I think Ecto, and I think I called it. He's going to be the narrator of the season. Him or Guy, depending on who lasts longer. He's going to be the narrator of the season. I'm really excited.
And he's going to be the narrator, but he's also going to be like Jonathan Penner. Everyone knows that he's a target kind of a thing.
Exactly.
He's like going to get. I think he's going to get so many votes this season if he doesn't just die.
Exactly. I'm worried about. But then again, here's the thing: his confession. We don't like the players don't see his confessionals, obviously.
Yeah.
So maybe their perception of him is different to our perception of him.
I mean, I feel like everyone who talks about Ecto, at least on his tribe, is like, oh, Ecto is a very strong player. Like, people will talk about wanting to work with him. And I think that would likely get him to merge. But, like, he could definitely be... I think he's still in the same position that we were predicting, like, in the first episode, where he's, like, the contender that everyone's going to have their eyes on. It's like...
Yeah. I agree. I think it's a little too early for that, but I agree that eventually people will be like, "This guy, we got to get rid of him. He's going to win the season. He's the perfect person to win the season." Right?
Yeah.
So I'd put him in. Well, it depends.
I think
Are we doing
swap
long-term?
screwable.
Swap screw. Now I gotta ask, what's the difference between swap screwable and danger? Because they seem kind of samey.
Light danger is so swap screwable is like they would only go out because they got put into a bad swap.
Yeah.
Light danger is like they can go out like in any way. Like normal voting out ways, like challenges or like not being social enough or stuff like that.
Yeah. I agree.
Like I think Ecto is going to survive this first swap vote no matter what, unless he's like in a really bad swaps group, similar to Cass.
Yeah, I think
Ecto would have to be like 4-1, and like everyone sees that he's a threat, kind of a thing.
Yeah. I think Ecto is in a good spot.
Maybe to talk about last season, if he's like in the envy spot.
If he's in the envy spot where he just gets screwed over completely. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Maybe someone will pass him an idol. I don't know. Anyway.
And I think that kind of similar personality is also applied to Ryan in the same sense.
You think
But
Ryan's
like, I think Ryan is safer than Ecto. Just a little bit.
I'd put Ryan in safe, honestly.
Oh, right. I could see that too, because Ryan is, I feel, definitely one of the more sociable people on the tribe, and no one really has anything bad to say about Ryan.
Yeah, I have 2 reasons to think why Ryan is much safer than Ecto. The first is that Ryan is, out of the 2 of them, I can see Ryan being viewed as the second in command. Whereas Ecto is much more like serious. The way he types is pretty Like you can tell he's a well-spoken guy. The way Ryan types is sometimes it's like a meme, and so maybe they won't take him as seriously as Ecto, right?
Yeah.
And the second reason is because I just think that that wasn't my second reason. Crap. No, I just think that Ecto kind of has a reputation for doing well in it works, whereas Ryan really doesn't. He always goes pre-merge, so that might help him skate by.
And I think the last person we need to talk about is Guy, right?
No, Abby. I haven't ranked Abby yet.
Abby?
Yeah.
I put
But she's
Abby
in
in
danger.
danger
Yeah.
from our talk earlier.
Yeah. I'll put Abby in danger. Anyway, no,
I
Emma
think
and
Guy
Guy.
is
Emma and
also
Guy
in
are
the
the
same
last two for this
category.
tribe.
I think Guy is similar to Ryan, except he would be like the third in command.
Yeah, I don't really know
Um,
where to put Guy in this season. I'm kind of lost. You see, he's a great character, but I don't know where he stands currently in the alliance. And it's not
I
even
think
really an alliance.
he's
They don't even have a chat. It's not even really an alliance.
yeah. It's not an alliance, but like everyone in the alliance except for maybe Emma has talked about like the same like 4 or 5 people too.
Yeah. I'm really excited
Oh
for this
yeah,
group.
we need to talk about Emma. I completely
Yeah,
forgot about that.
I was gonna say, forgot Emma, but yeah, I put Guy as third in command, honestly, which is weird because he's, in my opinion, I think he's the most powerful of the three.
Yeah,
The way I
I
see
think
it,
people.
you go.
He just doesn't have it's like the Malone factor where people won't quite realize that he's as much of a threat and as well connected as he actually is.
Yeah, I
That's
agree.
what
Actually, that's the perfect analogy. I think it is the Malone factor. It's the perfect analogy. Um, I think the way it goes is Ecto, and this might not be true, but the way I see the power rankings of our alliance: Ecto 1, Ryan 2, Guy 3, Saps 4, Tiny 5, and then at the bottom we have Emma and
I
Abby.
actually see Emma above Tiny.
You really Emma above
That
Abby,
alliance.
really? I don't even. Interesting.
Yeah,
That's really interesting.
I think the only one who has actually talked about wanting to work with Tiny is actually Ecto himself.
Yeah.
But like the other two, I feel have talked or Ryan and Guy have talked more about working with Emma. I haven't looked into their one-on-one conversations, but that's the experience I have.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, I want to
I
point
think
out.
that
Oh wait, you go. Sorry.
I do think that Emma is kind of being like brought into this group because of her being like a number and less of her being like actively seeking out this kind of group, which makes me think that she's like less connected to it than everyone else, and she could definitely be like cut from the group and they wouldn't be super sad.
Yeah,
Um,
I think Emma is. She's not going to be booted, but she's sort of expendable in their eyes.
yeah, I think that she's could possibly be in a light danger situation
Light danger.
where it it's like maybe swap screwable, but I feel like Emma, her social ability and like her challenge ability aren't always the highest pre-swap. That's why she's been in trouble pre-swap, like both
Yeah.
times she's played so far.
Yeah.
And I think that some of those skills kind of continue on into this season, and I think that she has some light danger. I do think that she can survive though to merge.
I think so too,
So
but
it's
she's going
not
to need
like
a bit of luck. She's going to need.
it's not the level of danger that I think Abby is in, where I think that Abby is likely the next boot if this tribe goes to tribal. And one of the two tribes is going to tribal next.
Yeah. I think now here's what I think with Emma. It's sort of a meme, but in the first two, in actually both of your seasons that you played, the two
Yeah.
most recent seasons, she was the boot one round after swap, and I honestly can see it happening for the third time in a row. I can see her being one boot after the swap. That would be 13th place. Wait, no, 14th place. I can see that happening. She's 14th place. I don't know. I feel like Emma just has a lot of like elements of being, the perfect post-swap boot. I don't know. I'm kind of scared for her. So yeah, that's
Next.
the Fart Smellas tribe, right? That's the entire Fart Smellas
Yeah.
tribe. Yeah, so I guess we'll recap episode 2 now. So yeah, Jack was voted out. Very sad, but yeah.
Next, we get the best challenge, or one a pretty great challenge, is code names.
Code names, and this was really, a little behind the scenes. I just got a bunch of science words, and in my opinion, this was actually really fun because it's all related to science. But not just one science, 4 different kinds of science: biology, chemistry, earth science, and physics. I thought that was really fun.
And the 2 people who stepped up to be the spy masters were Nojr and who?
Nojr and Ecto.
Nojr and Ecto.
Yeah.
And Ecto was able to pull off the win for his tribe, and that put the other tribe into danger.
Yeah.
And this tribal was a lot more interesting than the Jack tribal.
Yeah, this one was super interesting, actually. Like, I was surprised, because usually the first 2 tribals in seasons are usually really boring, but this one is super interesting.
So, I guess to start it off...
So we got to discuss the formation of the Future Buddies. The Alliance of the Future Buddies.
Yeah.
It's a really funny name. I really like that name. It consists of... Oh, what, sorry?
To kind of, like, talk about, like, the progression of this scramble. It really started off with Gun. Gun had a lot of people saying his name really early on. I believe, like, Neff, Nojr, Orca, were all mentioning Gun's name as someone who could go first. But there was another alliance that was formed before the scramble happened, I believe. Consisting of Zoe, Nic, and Gunwanna.
Yeah, Gunwanna.
And when they started hearing Gunwanna's name coming around, they started putting in the work to shut that down.
Yeah, the Future Buddies. So if you don't know, and I hope the alliance is called the Future Buddies. It might be Future Buds or something. But anyway, Zoe lives in Australia, and Nic and Gunwanna live in Asia. So they were like, look, our time zones are completely the opposite of everyone else. Let's form an alliance because they have similar time zones. And they did. And I thought that was really cool because, 2DK started off as an Asian-Australian org. And yeah, they and I'm surprised that no one caught on to it. You'd think that someone would be like, hey, wait a second, this kind of sus. But yeah, Zoe just completely shut down any notions of Gunwanna. I feel like in any basic season, Gun is just dead in the water. Like he doesn't talk. He's inactive. And Nojr, he's the first to say a name. And usually in these early tribal councils, the first to say a name usually gets their way, right? I'm sorry if you hear that background noise. My entire family's like yelling at whatever. But anyway,
I don't hear it.
Anyway, so yeah, they. So Nojr was basically threatening people, and I was kind of surprised because I didn't think Nojr could do that. He basically went to Dani, Neff, and Orca and Dennis, and it was like, "Hey, vote Gunwanna. If I find out it leaks, I know who I'm changing my vote to." And I thought that was like super aggressive. I was like, "What the heck?" That's like a me level move.
Yeah. Meanwhile, while Nojr is doing this, Zoe actually wants to get Neff out. First.
And I was surprised it was Neff. I was surprised they didn't want to go for Nojr himself or Dani, who was inactive.
So Neff actually had as like the counter target to Gunwanna was like setting up to be the counter target. And on this tribe, Zoe and Nic have a lot of sway. Like Zoe and Nic are like Orca's number 1 and 2, even though that Orca is not in alliance with Zoe and Nic.
Yeah.
So like if they come to Orca and like say, "Oh, this is who we want," suddenly they have 4 people out of the 8, and they just need 1 more to like sway the tide.
Exactly, and like, so at first Orca was actually persuaded by Nojr to vote Gun, but he actually changed it to Neff because of Zoe and Nic, and I think that was really powerful because in Orca's confessional he was like set in stone. He's like, "Look, Gunwanna is my vote. I'm not changing it," and then he changed it.
Yeah,
so that's pretty amazing. And for a second there, I really thought Neff was screwed because it was like 4 votes against Neff, and then Dennis was. I presumed that Dennis wouldn't come back for the rest of the tribal, so I was like, oh frick, Neff screwed. But Neff actually came back and started messaging Zoe, and they bonded pretty well, I think. Actually, I think Neff also bonded with Nic too. And Zoe was like, "Oh, I don't want to do that to Neff. We're bonding, we're vibing." So they switched it to Nojr, who was being sort of power hungry at this point. And yeah, the rest is history.
Yeah, and they got the votes. So together, Zoe, Nic, Orca, Neff, and Gun voted out Nojr. Dennis self-voted, and Dani and Nojr were in the dark voting for Gunwanna.
Yeah, so it was very interesting because Dennis at one point was the swing vote, right? It was 4 versus 3 versus Dennis in the middle, and it somehow became 5-2-1. So with Dennis not even being important at all.
I think after this episode, so the difference between this tribe and the other tribe is like the other tribe has like a set majority. Both tribes have like the set majority, but like one side, the majority isn't like super well known. Like I don't know. Everyone is talking about how they love Nic and Zoe, but no one is putting it together like, oh, I should be scared of Nic and Zoe. And I think that those are like the two that are looking great on this tribe. I think Nic is playing in a way where he's not really revealing his cards and revealing how close he is to everyone. And he's just talking a lot. Like, just on a really social tribe, Nic is one of the most social players. And exactly. I think that him and Zoe are very safe. Even going into like a swap, I think they could persuade themselves out of anything.
I agree. I think Zoe, especially if they're together, right?
Yeah.
I think what's a good rate? Like 99 times out of 100, both of them make merge. I really can't see, like, unless something messed up happens, I think they're completely fine.
Yeah.
And I'm excited because I'm really excited for Zoe at the merge and Nic at the merge. So I'm really happy about that. I'm really curious as to see. No, actually, I can see them being the next Malone and Win duo. I can see it happening. Maybe without the
I feel like if we went back to our contenders, or our last episode where we had our contenders, I believe that Nic was off the contenders. Nic is a contender now.
Yeah,
for sure.
I was scared for Nic. I was so scared for Nic, but no, he what's the word? Exceeded expectations. Yeah. So those two have complete control of the tribe. These two have complete control of the tribe.
Also on this tribe, I do not. I think that Dani and Dennis, they voted wrong this tribal. I think that both of them are like in high danger.
Yeah.
For kind of two different reasons. Dani kind of voted for Gunwanna, told Gunwanna that she was the one that voted for Dennis, but also told Zoe that she voted for Gunwanna. And I think there could be major implications for Dani going if like she goes to tribal again, because like Zoe now knows that Dani is against Gunwanna, and like Zoe is with Gunwanna, and that is like scary for Dani.
Yeah,
And Dennis, on the other hand, he has a self vote. That doesn't look good.
I know, it's not great.
Who wants to play with someone who hasn't even voted
correctly?
Not voted for themselves this game.
I agree. Yeah. Actually, just to go back to Zoe and Nic, I have a little point that I have to mention. It's interesting because Zoe and Nic, they have complete control of this tribe, but in Neff and Orca's perspective, they have complete control of the tribe. They don't realize that Zoe and Nic are sort of being the puppet masters here. It's amazing.
I think so too. So I think that puts
Dani and Dennis.
I'm putting Dennis in danger.
I agree. I think they're in danger. But here's the thing: I actually see Dani being significantly safer than Dennis because Dennis. Now here's what I'm going to bring up. Not only is Dennis more inactive, Dennis is also a man,
Yeah.
and I feel like there might be like, oh look, there's like we'll have 7 girls versus 7 guys. That's going to be pretty cool. Let's keep Dani just so we have the 7-7 ratio. I don't know. I think that might be someone's thought process. I can see it.
Maybe. I could see that.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on. Who do we want to talk about next?
I just realized
all 3 of the rest of the people to talk about, I think, are very.
Oh crap! I just realized I didn't rank Saps. Where did I put Saps? Where did he put Saps?
Saps safe.
All right. Yeah.
Saps was the first one we talked about being safe.
Yeah. I just forgot to put her in the thing. Anyway, next we'll do Gunwanna because he's the 3rd member of that alliance.
I think that Gunwanna is still in light danger.
Light danger.
I think that he is safe from the next tribal for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe this puts him in swap screwable then because he's not really known for being like weaker in challenges.
No, I would put him in light danger.
Like, if people hear about like the fact that Gunwanna's name's already been out there for a tribal, like they can easily like pull in like a Dani or a Dennis for a Gunwanna vote, I feel.
Yeah.
For a swap. And that's kind of a scary spot to be in.
Here's what I thought, because Nic actually sent a message saying, what if I flip on Gun? I don't think...
Really?
I think Zoe is much more loyal to Gun than Nic is, and I think that if Nic needs to, and honestly, if Zoe needs to, I think I can see both of them flipping on the guy, because he's just a big target, I feel.
Yeah.
As I said, 9 times out of 10, that second tribal council, Gun goes home. It's just that Zoe decided to take a very active role at saving him. And I think that maybe she wouldn't want to do it twice. You know what I mean?
I think so, but there's not going to be someone who's going to push as hard for Gunwanna as Nojr.
That's true.
I think you'll see it. Maybe see another Gunwanna push during a swap if he's on a tribe with like against any of like Ryan or Guy or Ecto, that they could push for Gunwanna.
Yeah, I think Gunwanna. I don't think it's swap screwable because swap screwable implies that he's good in any swap. I think in any swap he's going to be in light danger.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right, so we got Neff, and we should talk about Neff's creative alliance name, the three-letter alliance. Neff, Gun, Nic, and Zoe, which was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Now, Neff doesn't know that she's actually... She thinks that her and Zoe are the leaders, but the way I see it, she's actually on the bottom of that foursome.
Yeah, she is on the bottom of that foursome, and she does not know.
She doesn't
know. And that's fine to be on the bottom of a foursome this early in the game. It's not like Final 7 and you're about to be cut for being expendable or something like that.
Yeah. I think...
So I think...
Oh, what are you saying? Sorry?
I think that she's fine on her tribe right now. I don't know. She might be...
That's a hard one.
She's on the edge of light danger and swap screwable for me.
Yeah, light danger and swap screwable.
Yeah. I think that people on the other tribe could see Neff as a threat, but also someone like Saps could save Neff, because I feel like Saps is well positioned and would work with Neff. So in that sense, I feel like she's only swap screwable.
Yeah, I agree. I think Neff is swap screwable. I think Neff can make her way out of any situation pre-merge, because she's probably one of the bigger targets going into this.
Yeah.
I think that one bad swap and that'll be it. She put herself in a really good spot for now. She was very likely going to be second boot, but she saved herself.
Yeah.
So I think she has a lot of power, but yeah, swap screwable. I think that makes sense. Okay, last but not least.
I think that...
Oh, yeah, you go, sorry.
Orca, I'm debating between safe and swap screwable.
Orca.
I think Orca is kind of like in a Guy in a similar to like Guy position.
Yeah.
Where he's at, I think that he's actually like the third best position person on his tribe.
Yeah.
Um,
I think Orca's safe, honestly. That's where I would put him.
yeah.
I think Orca,
So
I don't know, he's really in a good spot. I think people like him.
and he can make.
He's active.
I think he's like active enough to like reposition himself if he's put on a bad swap script too. He very much thinks about a lot of the game, and even though that he doesn't really have a full picture right now, it's like if Zoe and Nic keep working together, in Orca could get himself into like Zoe Nic trio. I feel considering how much Orca is already investing into them. I think that Orca could maybe rise up the ladders on this tribe still, whereas I don't know if Neff could get past being like 4th or 5th on this tribe.
Yeah. So that's what we have right now. Ryan, Guy, Zoe, Nic, Saps, and Orca, safe. Cass, Ecto, Neff, Swap, Screwable, Tiny, Emma, Gun, Light Danger, and probably the next two out of three of the next next two boots, Abby, Dani, and Dennis.
Yeah.
A lot of danger, but we'll just wait and see. I'm really excited. Hopefully come the merge, we'll have a little war between Ecto and Zoe or something like that. I'm really excited for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's pick our MVPs of the episode, I guess.
Or
2 episodes.
If I had
the 2 episodes
of the 2 tribes, I think the MVP on the Abby tribe would probably be Ryan right now.
Ryan.
I think that Ryan is in the best position on his tribe in the sense that like everyone is talking to Ryan. Everyone I feel probably likes Ryan, and no one sees him as like the Ecto threat.
I agree. I think
But
Ryan.
I think it's hard to argue that Zoe is not the MVP of these 2 episodes with just the work that she put in episode 2 to like really have control of everything.
Yeah, I would say of episode 1, it's between Ryan and Guy for me. I'd probably lean more towards Guy because Ryan failed the challenge completely. But yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
It's one of the 2. It's probably Guy.
Maybe Guy would be the MVP of the first episode.
Like Ecto would be the short-term MVP, but for the long term, it's definitely Guy. Whereas episode 2, it has to be Zoe, right? I don't think it can be anyone else.
Yeah, it has to be Zoe. Like Zoe is the person to watch after this episode, and people might not even be seeing it right now.
Yeah, and that says a lot because in any normal circumstance, it would be Neff for saving herself, right? But no, I feel like Zoe eclipses that completely. So yeah, that's what I have. So Guy for episode 1 and Zoe for episode 2 as the MVPs. So yeah, that's episode 2 of the podcast. We'll be back in 4 days for episode 3, which will be Final 13. Which is crazy. Oh, by the way, I gotta say, the code names only lasted 24 hours. That cycle was only 24 hours long. It was super short. I was kind of surprised it was that short. A lot of content happened in that 24 hours. But yeah, no, the season is already underway, and I feel like it's almost over. We're already at the final 15. Which, if you remember from 23, that was Amanda. That's when Amanda went home, and that was like super far into it, right? That was that was really far into the game.
Amanda went home right before the swap. Before the merge.
Yeah. That was Final 15.
We had a huge merge.
I know, it was a huge merge. Yeah, I'm really excited. So yeah, those are the MVPs, but who do you keep your eyes out for? I would keep my eyes out for Emma. I feel like Emma is going to be really interesting come the swap, because she's never survived a swap.
I think that I hope Emma survives the swap. Yeah. But I think that if you're looking at someone who might start be like building an empire to actually win this game, I think that Nic is someone who's like playing it smartfully slow
Smart
and
voice.
I think that he might be someone who's in the position to win right now, if things are being rearranged. But I'm a big Nick fan, so I'm a
Yeah.
bit biased.
Yeah, so am I. But yeah, no, this is exciting. Final 15, 8 men, 7 women. It's going to be real interesting. So yeah,
Yeah.
catch you on the flip side.